Hey everyone, so this is something a little bit different. I know that the name on the channel is Eggshells Pro Wrestling in the Tokyo Dome, and that's my book that's out. But I thought it might be interesting to have a read through a couple of other people's books right here, because I did go to the bookshop today and I picked up for my children. I'm going to be honest; these are definitely for the kids and not for me. But a couple of different kids' books here, two in a series, an original and its sequel. Papa no Shigoto wa Warumono desu and Papa wa Warumono Champion. These two books are actually being made into a feature film by New Japan and starring Hiroshi Tanahashi as the main guy, as the Papa in the story. And basically these titles translate to this one is Daddy's a bad guy, or Daddy's job is a bad guy, and here Daddy is a bad guy champion. And these are being made into a feature film by New Japan later in the autumn of 2018. So I thought it might be kind of fun just to have a look at these books and have a read through them in English, so you guys can see what they're like. And I suppose we'll do this as a two-parter, so I'll look at this one later, but here's the original book. Papa no Shigoto wa Waremono desu. My daddy is a bad guy. So hajimari. So, son, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a hero. One day, I snuck into the back of Daddy's car as he was on his way to work. I had a homework assignment from school. It was called My Daddy's Job, and I really had to find out more. I knew my daddy had really big muscles and he looked really, really strong, but I didn't really know what it was he did for a living. Dad's walking into this big gymnasium. I wonder what he's supposed to be doing. I snuck in too, but just as I snuck in, I saw this really big, scary grown-up in front of me. Hey kid, what are you doing here? I was so scared, I thought I was going to pee my pants, but I said really nervously, I'm here to find out about my dad's job. The man led me into the building. You sit here and really have a good close look at what your dad does for a living. In the middle of the ring, there was one really cool looking guy and one man who had his face hidden behind a mask. In the red corner, Dragon George. And in the blue corner, Cockroach Mask. But where's my dad? Ding! The sound of metal filled the air, and the two men started fighting. I obviously wanted to cheer for Dragon George. I mean, look at him. He looked so cool. He was definitely a hero. And this Cockroach Mask guy, he was obviously a bad guy. Cockroach Mask started cheating and really beating down and putting the hurt on Dragon George. But then something popped into my mind. While Cockroach Mask was doing all this bad stuff, he looked just like my dad did when he was mad at me. What? If my dad does bad stuff all the time, how am I supposed to turn out good? Then I saw the eyes behind that mask. My dad's eyes were really surprised. I was surprised too. And then Cockroach Mask did the pose that he always does with me when we're in the bath together. Dragon George made his comeback. Now it was Dragon George putting a beat down on Cockroach Mask. Everybody was happy. But I wasn't happy. He might be a bad guy, but this Cockroach Mask was my dad. Yeah, hey, stop! Cockroach Mask lost.
Everybody came to their feet, everybody was clapping, but me, I just had a really cold, hard stare at everyone, and a really cold, hard stare at Cockroach Mask.
Why does my daddy cover his face and do bad stuff all the time? I really don't want a dad who
Gets beaten up by good guys every night.
At some point, my dad came alongside me.
You're a bad guy, Dad.
I was really mad, but Daddy picked me up and held me in his arms.
Everybody on their way home out the building looked really happy. Son, if the bad guy isn't around, there's no one for the hero to stand up to, right? So that everybody can go home happy, your dad does his best to try and do bad stuff. Do you understand? I don't understand, but let's say I do.
Still crying a little bit, I touched my dad's arms. Doesn't it hurt? It does, but let's say it doesn't. Now my dad looked like a hero as he smiled. It's okay for you to be a bad guy. Just next time try and win the match. My daddy is a bad guy. When I grow up, I want to be a bad guy too, just like him.